You're welcome back to Wellness Academy, and welcome back to our biology class. We've been on the topic communicable diseases. In our previous classes, we discussed viral and bacterial diseases. Today, we will discuss protists and fungal diseases. At the end of the lesson, you will be able to describe protists and fungal as disease-causing pathogens. You will be able to list some examples of communicable diseases caused by protists and fungi. And you will be able to describe some symptoms, prevention, and treatment of protist and fungal diseases. A protist is a pathogen which is single-celled, and most protists have a nucleus or a nuclear membrane. So they can be free in nature, they can live freely, or they can live in their host as parasites, as they need nutrients to survive. Now, most protists have a complex life cycle, especially when they are inside their host. Let's see some examples of diseases caused by protists. One major protist that causes fever is known as malaria. Malaria is a disease caused by a protist known as Plasmodium. Plasmodium is carried by the female Anopheles mosquito. When the female Anopheles mosquito bites its host, deposits the Plasmodium or the protist inside the host. So the protist or Plasmodium can be transmitted through the bite of female Anopheles mosquito. Symptoms like high fever, headache, anemia, fatigue are experienced by the victim of malaria. How can malaria be prevented? Because malaria is spread by the vector mosquito, it can be prevented by destroying the breeding sites of the mosquito. Basically, where you have vegetation or where you have grasses around a building, the grasses or the vegetation around buildings can be destroyed so that the breeding sites of the mosquito will also be destroyed. Using insecticides is also advisable. Mosquito nettings, wearing what's called protective clothing, and even rubbing some cream that can prevent the bite of mosquito can be used. So it can also be treated by using anti-malaria drugs, such as anti-methicillin-based combination therapy. So such will also prevent the spread and will destroy the pathogen. Another example of a protist disease is amoebic dysentery. Amoebic dysentery is spread by the pathogen Entamoeba histolytica. So Entamoeba histolytica is a contagious disease which is waterborne. So it can be found in contaminated food or water. So symptoms like diarrhea, blood in stool, and weight loss are experienced by the patients of amoebic dysentery. It can also be prevented by good sanitation, carrying out good personal hygiene. The third protist disease we'll discuss is sleeping sickness. Sleeping sickness is caused by the vector known as tsetse fly. Tsetse fly carries the pathogen trypanosoma. Sleeping sickness causes fever, swollen limbs, extreme tiredness, and it can also be prevented by living in tsetse fly infested area. Avoid living in a tsetse fly infested area. Clearing all bushes of vegetation around buildings, such bushes of vegetation which serve as breeding site for the tsetse fly. So all these are protist disease. Let's look at fungal diseases. Fungi is also eukaryotic because it has a definite nucleus. Fungi can be unicellular or multicellular. Unicellular fungi are yeasts, while multicellular fungi are molds. Molds that can be found around rotting food or molds that can be found around the athlete's foot. Now, fungi reproduce by sporulation. Sporulation also means spore formation. So it produces spore that can be spread through the air or can be carried by wind. So it affects areas like the skin, the nails, the hair, or the lungs when inhaled. So let's see some fungal diseases. The athlete's foot is a very simple, is a major fungal disease. You can see my diagram. The athlete's foot is caused by Trichophyton species. So it affects the foot or hands of the victim. Athlete's foot is basically transmitted when the victim walks barefooted around damp areas, around watery area where there is water, stagnant water. Such waters would accumulate or harbor the fungus that causes athlete's foot. Symptoms of athlete's foot include itchy foot, cracked skin, peeled skin, or red skin. Of course, it can be prevented by keeping a dry environment, walking on a dry floor. You should avoid walking on a slippery or wet floor. Wearing clean clothing, especially your socks, and footwear. Ensure that the footwear you wear is dry and it's not damp. Now, the second fungal disease we'll discuss is ringworm. Ringworm is caused by the pathogen known as dermatophyte fungi. It's a microsporum. Ringworm is also a fungal disease. You can see it affects the skin, can affect every part of what? The skin. This is just a diagram of ringworm on the hand. Now, it causes circular rash, itching, a sensation on the arm or the body. It also leads to scaly skin. Ringworm is basically spread by wearing a cloth worn by an infected person or carrying pets that are infected around, rubbing them around the body, or wearing or contaminated clothing like I rightly said. It can also be prevented by eating good food and wearing good clothing. Maintaining good personal hygiene will prevent the spread of ringworm. Thrush is the third example of a fungal disease. You can see the diagram where the tongue is affected by the disease. You have this whitey substance on the tongue. So thrush is caused by a pathogen known as Candida albicans. Now, the major symptoms are white patches, basically on the tongue. It causes sore mouth or sore throat, and it causes itching around the skin or in the mouth. Now, it can be treated using antifungal medication. Antifungal medication can be used to treat thrush. The fourth disease we'll discuss, fourth fungal disease, is aspergillosis. Aspergillosis basically affects the lungs, as you can see in the diagram. So it is caused by the pathogen Aspergillus. Aspergillus is also a fungal disease, is a fungus. It is transmitted through breathing in fungal spores. Don't forget, I said earlier that fungal disease, fungus spread basically by sporulation. It reproduces by spore formation. So the symptoms of aspergillosis is persistent cough, because it is a lung disease, chest pain, and difficulty in breathing. So how can protists or fungal diseases be prevented? They can be prevented by engaging in high personal hygiene, washing hands regularly, eating good food, keeping our skin and clothing clean and dry. Food hygiene, living in a clean environment, controlling the spread of vectors, destroying the breeding site of all vectors like mosquitoes, like tsetse fly, that can spread diseases, and involving in good medical activities, when there's early diagnosis or when the victim recognizes the symptoms, it's always good to visit the hospital for treatment. What is the importance of preventing these diseases? Now, it saves life. Diseases, healthcare costs, this is the amount one spends on healthcare, treatment, and it protects vulnerable individuals. It keeps the environment clean and prevent such diseases from being spread all around. I hope you have enjoyed the class. Please do not forget to hit the subscribe button. Bye for now.